Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Before we start with this video, I would just like to ask if you watched the video before this, the one entitled You're Living in Multiple Realities or Timelines. So, because I'm going to reference that video in here, I'll try to leave a link in the description box for those who are interested in that before jumping into this. Now, so much for that. In the previous video, we talked about the chrononauts. Now, what are the chrononauts? They are these kids who were time travelers. They were under the project entitled Project Pegasus by the government, and then they were sent several times in the past from the period of 1968 or 69 to 1972. So they're now from several trips by multiple of these chrononauts, it was established that the past is made up of multiple timelines or different variations of reality, different variations of events in history. So there now the boy whom we focused on the video is named Andy and Andy Bashago or Andrew Bashago, and I would just like to quote in here an extension of the conversation that they had. Now you might say, why did you separate this from that video? Well, because this is more relevant for this video. And so the conversation goes, the scientist says every choice or decision you make moves one variant of reality to a slightly different variant. And Andy says, so the timeline I'm living in is one of many, and other versions of me are living in other timelines. And the version I'm living in keeps shifting depending on what I choose. To which the scientist says, yes, now you understand. Okay, so how is this relevant for us? Now, it would appear based on the results of the project that our past is also comprised of multiple timelines or multiple realities. And whatever life you are living in now, whatever life or reality I am living in now, is a product of every decision that we have made in the past. So there. Now, alongside this present reality that we're living in are also parallel timelines of the present, which different versions of us are living. Different versions of us who chose to carry out other decisions apart from all of the decisions that we made. And also, so in the future, our future is also made up of different multiple timelines, multiple variations of reality, or infinite possibilities. So there. Now, how do we navigate through multiple timelines? So what have been we been doing all this time? So we've been making decision after decision which brought us to a specific timeline, just like your timeline now and my timeline now. And now, how do we move forward? How I would like to explain this, how I'd like to see it is this way. Okay, just pretend that you are driving a train. Now, this train is your life. Now, you drive it along a single train track. But then, have you ever encountered images of a train track where at one point it diverges, it splits into two? Now, a train driver would be using a railroad switch to choose whether to go right or whether to go left. So there. So along so this is how I would like to correlate the concept of shifting timelines is. So along the track, along the way, while we keep on driving our train, the train of our lives, we get to different points where we encounter different diverges or splits in the road. So we decide we go right, we go left, we go right, we go left. So something like that. So it might be just simple decisions like the decisions that we make every day. So what to wear, what to eat, something like that. No, these are not so significant decisions, but then they still, but it is said that every decision that we make would lead us to a certain timeline in the future. So there now, it might be also like major decisions, like where do you study, do you stay in your hometown, or would you like to work in your hometown, or do you leave your hometown? Thereby it's just like we take a split in the road that are not even close together, but they're really farther apart. So they're, so they contribute to where to what timeline we end up choosing. So there. Now, what are the signs that you have shifted timelines? Now, just simple decisions, or sometimes when you look back days prior or weeks prior, it might not actually seem that our lives have changed. But sometimes when you look back longer, like months, like when it covers like months or years, you might notice things or changes, like changes in you, changes in your environment. Like for example, there are things that you've already outgrown, like foods that you used to like and you don't like anymore, activities and hobbies that used to occupy a lot of your day, but now they don't anymore. Sometimes there are crowds that you used to find yourselves in and you enjoy the company of, but now not anymore. Something like that. Like your preferences tend to shift, and then your choices also tend to have shifted. That would mean significantly that your timeline has shifted. So there. Now, another question. What of our wishes and our dreams? Okay. Um, Let me just give you an example. So, let's say in the present, you are stuck in a difficult relationship, and every day in and day out, you're really miserable. Now, as you go on living like this, you tend to wish you were in a healthier relationship, one where there's mutual respect, something like that, or where your goals are the same, or at least you complement each other. There's less stress, there's less fighting, there's less conflict and argument, something like that. Now, the mere fact that you are wishing for that, or sometimes that you feel the urge to go for something like that, just means that there's already a version in your future living that kind of reality. So there. So it also helps that when we are leaning toward a certain timeline or a certain goal, a personal goal, it also helps that our mind and our heart and our frequencies are aligned. Okay, so sige, let's just revert back to the example. So you're in a difficult relationship, and in your heart you really want to get out of that relationship, or at least improve on that relationship. It could be with a specific person or another person, but when it comes to wishes, it also helps, as they say, that you just envision not the face but the feeling, the sensation, and every aspect of the relationship that you would like to feel and you would like to be in, something like that. Now, so in your heart, you really can't take it anymore, but your mind keeps saying, no, I have to stay here, I have to stay here, even if I'm miserable, I have to stay here. Now, in that case, it's just like putting your mind and your heart in a boxing ring, where they're just there to take out each other and nothing really happens. So it is important that your mind aligns with your heart, thereby changing your frequency, thereby influencing your reality in a more concrete sense. So there. Um that way, when you drive the train, you are not indecisive whether do I go right or do I go left. Or maybe you're heading this direction, this is the direction you want to be heading in, but then okay, you head this direction two times, you get to a split in the road, and then you try to go back to this side again. And so it would it would take you a long time before you step into the timeline that you really want. So there. Now, you might think it's not that easy. Yeah, it's not that easy, but it is possible. The study in the concept of timelines is such that, it gives us a choice, and it just shows that we are free and we are not stuck. And the mere fact that we are talking about infinite possibilities here, there are a lot of realities, or there are a lot of timelines that are available to us if we just are able to step into those realities. So there. So then again, when you look at it, like somewhere out there is a version of you who's already living the life that you wish you had. Emphasis in the version of you. So it's not another person living the life you wish you had. So it's a version of you living the life you wish you had. So it is possible for you, it is available for you, it is possible, and it's within your grasp. So there. So I hope this has given you a ray of hope, and I hope this has given you something to think about, more importantly something to act on. So I'm going to end this here. This is just me, Alvie, saying find your strength, find your peace, stay with God, whatever you conceive Him to be, respect each other, and good luck in your future timelines. Until next time.